As usual lately, I had to make two videos. I did the first video, but there was an ice cream incident with the children and some frustrations with Daddy. A pretty good night at the office. Also, I wanted to do the video again anyway because I just watched, Don't Believe Me, Just Watch win. You know, we talk about this all the time, how horse racing is a lot about timing. And this is a horse where in the fall, back before we even had the lockdown, second lockdown, he was going to find it difficult. You know, we had talked about selling him, and a number of the clients had stepped up and kept the horse. Then when we come back from lockdown, geez, it looked like he was really going to fit in a number of classes. Then we got another one. I'm glad to see him fit into that class. I think he fits that class for a little bit. And confidence builders like that for a horse like Don't Believe Me, Just Watch, you know, now that we have classes for him, now that we have places and avenues to race him, there's lots of racing for that horse. So very, very happy for the clients that own him. Very happy for the horse because he is a lovable horse. Obviously, that plays hand in hand with selling a few of the horses that we had this weekend up for sale. Now, the Oso Pine sale was very difficult to make because he's done so well for us, and he does have a place to race, but he's not without his issues. He's not without his problems, like most 5-year-old trotters. And going on his 18th race this year, you're only looking at another 7 or 8 races into this horse before he's likely going to need a break. So it made sense, especially with Stonebridge Simba coming back, it made sense that for us to get top dollar, and make no mistake, we got top dollar for Oso Pine. It was pretty hard to turn it down. So it was one of the more difficult sales we've made this year. For me, because he did have a place to race. He was a good horse for us, but nevertheless, pretty hard to turn down the money we got for him. So that out of the way, we had tinkered and tinkered and tinkered with Holy Chick. Just couldn't get her off that jack. She was touching it and touching it. Even when I qualified her the other day, she's tough. You know, such a nice filly. She wants to do her work. If they can get her to a bigger track now, she was bought in Indiana, and I know that Irv Miller's daughter, if I'm not mistaken, bought half of her. I assume they plan on racing her in Indiana, or Jason was telling me that her husband, or I believe her husband now, races at Hawthorne. So that would be a great spot for Holy Chick. Cheering for her just around here. Fairs would have been too tight for her. Northfield Park she was going to struggle at. So I'm glad it worked out the way it did. We get paid pretty good for her, I suppose, all things considered. Well and Down is racing tomorrow, and that will be her last start for us. And that was just an absolute mathematical decision. There was nowhere to race this filly. Now, I know a lot of our clients that loved Well and Down, and I was one of them. We'll try and make the argument that she could do in the non-winners of 4, but she can't. Right? The night she won in 55, they went almost 2 full seconds faster. She's a nice filly, but when you look at her lines, 54, 54, 55, 55, 55, 55, she's 55, 54, and 4 right now. And even at the fair tomorrow, there's no cakewalk there. There's 2 fillies in there that are legitimate nice fillies. Sister Said has the rail. Every bit as good as Well and Down last year, and she has the rail in the race we had the 5-hole. So I'd like to go out with another win. It'd be nice, but I can tell you there's not going to be any cakewalks at Paulding, Ohio tomorrow. And then tonight, on to the racing. We talked about Peanut at the outset. Tonight we also had That's My Girl and Compass Rose DC. Now, truth be told, I really thought there was a legitimate chance we would show up at the track and win both races. Wasn't perfect heading into the race. We had broken equipment with That's My Girl last week in the rain. She broke the hobbles. I pulled her up. So coming back in 5 days with her wasn't really a big deal because she only raced for half a mile. But she did get prepared for the race. She did train 2 days out. She did warm up twice in the rain. So it wasn't like it was an easy step forward. There was still some work to be done there. And then Compass Rose DC, she did work very hard. Although she had the 9-hole and just kind of really a training session 5 days ago, she did ship 3 hours there, 3 hours back in the heat, and then raced on a muddy track. So there was a lot of work there, and I think at the end, a number of things played a role, and maybe her getting picked off of the wire. That trip 5 days ago was most definitely one of them. Starting with That's My Girl, I thought she warmed up well. I thought she did her work well. I will tell you this. One of our clients, friend of mine, Marco, owns a piece of That's My Girl, and I'm a partner of his. And he said, you know, Anthony, I can't help but thinking this filly's just too big for Northfield. And I get what you're saying, and I understand there's probably a lot of our clients saying, geez, what about racing her on a bigger track? Well, here's the thing. This is a bigger filly. She is built for a bigger track, and she will get to a bigger track. The only problem with That's My Girl is she's a mental midget. She really learns slowly, and big gate, powerful filly, got lots of speed, but needs to use the old noggin a little more, needs to use the head a little bit more. If you look at any of the breaks that break on Travis, run up on top of the horse in front of her, just lost her mind and made a break. So at the end of the day, she needs to use her head. We've struggled trying to keep her quiet. I tried to keep her off the gate at 2 starts ago. She was hothead. I had to continue on to the front. That was a tough trip for her, but she did show how durable she was. And make no mistake, she was a winner the other night in the mud. As sure as I'm a foot tall, she was going to win by open lengths the other night. Now, I wanted to see that again tonight. I saw her finally quiet the other night. Could she duplicate it? Do we have her hung up? Does Jason ever hung up right? Where now she's manageable and behaves? I believe the answer is yes. Tonight, although she wasn't first and she wasn't second, I believe in my heart of hearts that was most definitely the best race she's ever gone in her life. Wasn't the fastest, wasn't the strongest, but it was the smartest race she's ever gone. She behaved. She sat back a little bit. She didn't get too excited. Down the backstretch, I moved her out into cover. She didn't get too excited. When I was forced 3 wide, did she get anxious? Did she almost make a break? Nope. She just advanced on and was closing in on the leader down the lane. That will come to help her in the future. So tonight, for all intents and purposes, I can't tell you without looking at the program how many races That's My Girl has in her life, but tonight was her first. Tonight was her first intelligent, strong, fast mile, and I expect her to build on that. And when we get to a point where we're comfortable on the track, she's comfortable on the track, at that point, we'll head back to Indiana. That trip will be a much more profitable one than the ones in the past to Indiana. So for Marco and all my partners out there saying when, just relax. We got a very, very nice filly. Indiana's not going anywhere. She's not going to win the Sire Stake final. Those mini series or whatever they call them, they run them all summer. We'll get there. And tonight was a big step towards that. Now, Compass Rose DC, I was a little pissed off. I had to fix a shoe on That's My Girl this morning because she was due to be shod tomorrow. These horses weren't supposed to race until Tuesday, Wednesday, even Thursday. And now, or Tuesday, Wednesday, potentially on the weekend, and now they were shoved into a Monday slot. Blacksmith's not here till tomorrow. So I had to fix a shoe on That's My Girl behind. No big deal. It was on good. It stayed on good. I'm scoring down Compass Rose DC and the shoe goes flying off. I go back. I pick it up. I go back to the paddock. Blacksmith's nowhere to be found. They're paging him. And I'm thinking to myself, man, I'm not sitting here, let this filly cool down, go out and have her make a break. I take my helmet off, gloves off, I put the shoe on her. By the time I go out the door, now the blacksmith's finally getting there. He's walking up towards the paddock. Come on, man. I got the shoe on the horse, go out. She races good now. I gotta watch. I know she's a little bully coming out of the gate. I would rather not have the 6, 7, and 8 ahead of me, right? Don't really care about 1 through 4. The only one I have to worry about, in my mind, the 1, 2, 3, 4 are okay. The 1's the one to beat, right? He's got the rail. He's probably going to use rail advantage. I just want to try and stay in front of the 6, 7, and 8. But I can't ask Compass Rose DC. She's coming off a break, and she will make a break. So I'm just trying to hold her going into the first turn. I'm trying to settle her, float her head into the first turn. I got her on what I feel is a comfortable line. I kept the 6, 7, and 8 out. I see the inside horses ducking. I let her advance very gingerly. And I see Aaron look over his shoulder. I know he's waiting for me. I know he knows that I'm 6-5. I'm the horse to beat. He's certainly not going to take me. As soon as we come out of the turn, I just let her float over to the front. Now, Compass Rose DC is not known for her front end prowess. But, put her in the right class. She's tough to beat. Now, keep in mind, she raced 5 days ago. I get a little breather in the third quarter. I was hoping she'd just sprint from the head of the lane to the wire, and she did. She just got picked off fair and square by a horse that probably won't beat her that often. But beat her tonight. She raced well. I guess the only silver lining I'd said to Jason, I thought she raced well. I was happy. You know, she races for $10,000, I think, every week, and it goes by wins in Pennsylvania. So, although we got beat tonight, we got a little bit of money. We got a flat line. She races in 10 days, which is a good rest for her. And she fits into the non-winners of 5 or whatever she fits. In fact, she could race here again at Northfield for $9,500. I was told by Jason tonight there's a class that they have going, Mama Knows Best class. So either way, she's 10 days away from a race. I would rather see her at the Meadows. We'll see how that shakes down and how that class goes this week over there. I'm keeping an eye on it, but you can be sure Mama Knows Best. I would say the chances of her being at the Meadows or next start are 70%. But we'll see, and if she's not, she'll be racing for $9,000 or $10,000 a year. It just boils down to something as simple as this. I think she's better on a 5/8 and a half, and she absolutely has to race for more than $6,600 a week. She's too good to be racing for $6,600. So, and you might say, well, she get beat. Yeah, she can get beat. Every horse can get beat, but she's too good to be racing for that. So that's where we're at with her. A huge win from Don't Believe Me, Just Watch. Congratulations to that group. The best mile of her life in my mind. That's my girl. The best race of her life, and to be quite frank, the first race of her life. Before, she was a hothead and speed crazy, and I was concerned where that would take her in her career. Tonight was the first step forward in the rest of her racing career. I could not be happier with her. And Compass Rose DC raced well, raced good, especially back on 5 days. Just got picked off of the wire. She'll be back probably 10 days from now at the Meadows. So, a big day, a great day for the stable. We had a 1, a 2, and a 3 in 3 races. Tomorrow I'm off to Paulding, Ohio. One My Heart Hanover is going to school for Hunter Myers. I told Hunter, I asked him to give me a call after he schools her. He's going to school her with no hobbles on at the Meadows. I'm going to head to Paulding, Ohio. We may bring Path of Totality here to qualify. I can't go to the Meadows Tuesday. Now, I am planning on going next Tuesday. So, Path of Totality, if she gets a clean bill health, if Tim says, no, she's good, ready to go, maybe Thursday in Northfield Park, or Tuesday at the Meadows. I also am thinking about bringing Harlanelle, which is Hope's Reprise, to race, maybe on Friday. Maybe be joined by Rose Above It, and maybe a few qualifiers. I'd like to get Unbeatable Kemp to the Meadows for Tuesday. That would be nice. So a lot of balloons still up in the air, a lot of things that may or may not happen. One thing is for certain, a good day for us. Big day hopefully tomorrow. Paulding, that will be well and down swan song for the stable. But again, good luck to Bill and his group buying her. They believe she can race in Scioto, and I hope you're right. And then obviously Wednesday we have who do we got on Wednesday? I can't even remember now. I don't know what the hell we have on Wednesday. Thursday we have a lot of I know where I am. Wednesday, what the hell's wrong with me? Jazzy Judy in Harrington. And then Thursday we have a bunch of qualifiers. A lot going on this week. It's all over now tonight, but a good day for the stable. I hope you guys had a great weekend, and we'll talk to you all very, very soon.